Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching the closing bell and I'm Sanotsh Nair.
And I'm Yatin Mota.
Well, the roller coaster ride in the markets continued yet again today. The Nifty and Sensex ending slightly lower. Some respite for leading Adani Group stocks, but pretty much most of the stocks in the group continue to remain under pressure, though we did see a strong pullback in shares of Adani Enterprises, the flagship of the company. Overall, auto, FMCG and metal companies struggled for direction today, whereas shares from the private sector banking and realty companies were mostly higher. Interestingly, Yatin, India volatility index, even as the market is continuing to drift lower, the index is also coming down. In fact, it was down by about 4.25% to around 14. And the big gainers today, Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports and Dr. Reddy, and laggards in the Nifty were Tata Steel, Hindalco and ITC. Yatin, very interesting how the metal story was very hot till just a few days back, and all of a sudden the mood once again has changed.
And if you look at the metal index, Santo, Adani Enterprise is a constituent in the metal index. For whatever reasons, because it is largely into coal trading business. And probably that also led to a breakdown in the metal index in the first instance. Plus, there was expectation in the market that the outlook by steel companies will be good, the demand scenario will look rosy in the management commentary. Nothing of that sort has happened. Obviously, managements do expect there would be some improvement in the cost structures because there was a highly inflated period for the last 2 quarters और थोड़ा बहुत लग रहा था कि यहाँ से मार्जिन इम्प्रूवमेंट बहुत जल्दी होगा. वैसा कोई लग नहीं रहा है अभी मैनेजमेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल्स के जरिए. इनफैक्ट हिंडाल्को की बात करें तो नोवेलिस के रिजल्ट्स ने डिसअपॉइंट किया. टाटा स्टील की बात करें तो यूरोपियन ऑपरेशंस ने डिसअपॉइंट किया. तो जो मेटल प्रॉब्लम है सैंटो वो ग्लोबल है, बिकॉज ऑफ विच मुझे लगता है थोड़ा बहुत मूड डोमेस्टिकली भी खराब हुआ है.
And interestingly, Narendran of Tata Steel has said that while the outlook, the pricing outlook for the domestic market seems a little stable, Europe will continue to struggle for some more time. I think that is what the market is mainly worried about. But so Yatin, what made the market suddenly bullish? Didn't they see this coming?
I think technically लोगों को लगा कि bottom हो रहा है, वर्स्ट इज ओवर. वो वर्स्ट इज ओवर अभी भी मुझे लगता है स्टांस मेंटेन्ड है, लेकिन आप देख रहे हैं स्टॉक मूवमेंट्स में कि थोड़ा एक स्पाइक आता है और तुरंत एक सेल ऑफ आपको मेटल कंपनीज में दिखाई पड़ता है.
Well, and with that, let's take a quick look at some of the key stocks that caught our attention this afternoon. MCX, this was among the losers in the mid cap space. Now, third quarter operating margins of the company of the exchange have seen a very sharp drop from about 45 to 50% range, which they usually used to be in. The operating margins for the December quarter was about 22%. UBS has retained its buy rating on the stock. However, it has said that the higher software support charges, now MCX was supposed to have migrated to the TCS software platform that was supposed to have happened by December end. That has not happened and then got extended by about 6 months. So, in the interim they will continue to be getting support from 63 moons. The contract has been extended, but at a higher cost. UBS has said that among the positive things, there has been a good traction in the overall in the options volumes. That is something that clearly is helping for now, but the big worry for now is that higher expenses, which was clearly evident in the third quarter numbers.
Absolutely. और मुझे लगता है सेंटो ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी कॉस्ट है, हार्डवेयर कॉस्ट है, क्योंकि 63 मून्स जो पहले फाइनेंशियल टेक्नोलॉजीज हुआ करती थी उससे जो टेक्नोलॉजी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है TCS की तरफ मूव हो गया. तो मुझे लगता है सेंटो कि ये जो कॉस्ट MCX को हर्ट कर रहे हैं वो वन ऑफ इन नेचर हैं या वन टाइम इन नेचर हैं. शायद आपको 1, 2, 3 क्वार्टर बाद ये सारे के सारे कॉस्ट नॉर्मलाइज होते हुए दिखाई दे सकते हैं MCX के केस में. एनीवेज, ये तो MCX की बात की, लेकिन दूसरा जो स्टॉक मेरे रेडार पे है और जिसके बारे में काफ़ी सारे लोग जानना चाहते हैं वो है दीपक नाइट्राइट. ऑब्वियसली ये जो केमिकल कंपनी है बहुत ही ज़्यादा बड़ी मल्टीबैगर हुई है स्पेस में, लेकिन आज के रिजल्ट्स देखने लायक होंगे क्योंकि जो एनवायरनमेंट है उनके की प्रोडक्ट्स का वो थोड़ा वीक हो चला है. क्योंकि अगर हम फिनॉल जैसी कमोडिटी देखें जो कंपनी का एक ब्रेड एंड बटर प्रोडक्ट है, वहाँ चाइना में स्प्रेड्स काफ़ी अच्छी तरीके से गिरे. इनफैक्ट स्प्रेड्स हैव गॉन डाउन बाय ओवर 50%. तो कहीं ना कहीं मैनेजमेंट का आउटलुक काफ़ी नेसेसरी होगा देखने के लिए, क्योंकि स्टॉक कुछ सस्ता नहीं है, अभी भी एक्सपेंसिव है। और शायद अगर रिजल्ट्स डिसअपॉइंट करें या आउटलुक डिसअपॉइंट करें तो वैल्यूएशन में आपको थोड़ी बहुत डाउन टिक आती हुई दिखाई दे सकती है। और एनालिस्ट का तो ये कहना है कि शायद ये जो मार्जिन की वीकनेस है वो परसिस्ट होती हुई आने वाले क्वार्टर्स में भी दिखाई दे सकती है। तो दीपक नाइट्राइट का सेंटो रिजल्ट टू बी वॉच्ड रहेगा।
Well, overall, the infatuation with chemical stocks seems to be now wearing off. We've seen similar selling pressure in the case of Aarti Industries as well. That was one of the big losers in trade today, down by over 5%. Technically, it looks like, Yatin, the immediate support for Deepak Nitrite could be around 1700 odd, which was the level which it had tested during the July low. So that will be a critical factor, critical support level to watch out for. But bears who have been actually saying that the stock is expensive and it needs to go down further, they have not had much luck. So it remains to be seen. Well, you mentioned that they are going short in a big way, but let's see if they can win this round. And the last stock on my watch list is Muthoot Finance. Again, the numbers were pretty much a mixed bag, third quarter numbers, but stock again under pressure, down by over 2%. Now, according to analysts tracking the stock, the big negative during the latest quarterly numbers has been that the gold loan book has been fairly flat. And according to CLSA, that's not been the case with the industry, because banks have reported a fairly decent growth in their loan book. So, gold loans being the main bread and butter for Muthoot Finance, clearly the fact that you've not been able to grow your gold loan book much at a time when rivals have been growing it, that's clearly a big negative. Also, on the positive side, Muthoot Finance did report an improvement in yields, and also its operating expenses were lower. So these were the two factors that helped the company report net profit numbers that were slightly higher than what market was expecting. According to Morgan Stanley, which has an equal weight rating on the stock, one of the concerns that it has flagged off is that there has been a significant increase in stage 2 and stage 3 assets. Basically, stage 1 assets are those which are performing, on which customers are regularly paying interest. Stage 2 is where they have begun to underperform, and stage 3 is where the assets have been impaired. So, clearly increase in stage 2 and stage 3 assets is not good news for Muthoot Finance. The stock has been just like Manappuram Finance as well. The overall sentiment for gold loan companies has been quite bearish for quite some time, mainly due to intense competition from banks, and it does look like this trend could persist for some more time.
But सेंटो, आपको लगता नहीं क्योंकि इनके पास जो गोल्ड का कोलेट्रल होता है और गोल्ड जो 52,000 के लेवल से 60,000 हुआ है, तो ज़्यादा पैसा वो रिकवर कर पाएंगे?
In theory, yes, clearly that should be the case, but at the same time you're not really seeing an increase in your loan book. I think that is the bigger worry. Probably
banks का ज़्यादा competition आ गया.
Yeah, that is initially the theory was, at least till about a couple of years back, that the personal relationships will count more for firms like Muthoot and Manappuram. They'll always be the go-to place whenever people want to pledge, but that has been not been the case, where you're also seeing the banks take away some of the creamy customers as well. So, a lot of competition in store for gold loan companies in general.
तो ये तो हुई बात गोल्ड लोन कंपनीज की। अब गियर शिफ्ट करते हैं, आते हैं रेलवेज पे। देखिए, रेलवेज में ऑब्वियसली बजट तो काफ़ी अच्छा था, लेकिन अगर हम बात करें कॉनकॉर की, तो ये स्टॉक जो है करेक्ट हुआ। और शायद सेंटो इसका एक रीज़न ये होगा कि जो स्ट्रेटेजिक डाइवेस्टमेंट लोगों को लग रहा था, जहां अदानी एक बिड डालेगा कॉनकॉर के लिए और स्मूथली ये डाइवेस्टमेंट हो जाएगा, उसका एक रब ऑफ इफेक्ट आया है। क्योंकि जैसे ही अदानी ग्रुप के स्टॉक्स में फॉल आया, वैसे ही कॉनकॉर में भी फॉल आया, एंटिसिपेशन में कि शायद ये जो स्ट्रेटेजिक डाइवेस्टमेंट की लोग सोच रहे थे, अदानी टेक ओवर की बातें जो आपने न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट्स में पढ़ी होंगी, वो अब मार्केट को लगता है कि नहीं होगा। लेकिन फंडामेंटल साइड पे अगर हम देखें तो रेलवेज बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त एग्रेसिवली अपनी फ्रेट की कमाई को बढ़ा रहा है। फ्रेट काफ़ी प्रॉफिटेबल बिजनेस होता है रेलवेज के लिए। और अगर हम रेलवे अर्निंग्स की बात करें फ्रेट से, तो फाइनेंशियल ईयर टू डेट जनवरी एंड तक 16% की ग्रोथ हुई है वैल्यू वाइज, और वॉल्यूम वाइज सेंटो लगभग 7% की ग्रोथ हुई है। और फ्रेट की बात करें तो ऑब्वियसली जब आप फ्रेट की बात करते हैं, आप रेलवेज की बात करते हैं, और जब आप रेलवेज की बात करते हैं तो कॉनकॉर की बात करते हैं। तो डेटा तो ठीक आया है, अगर ये रिजल्ट्स में ट्रांसलेट हो जाए तो बहुत ही अच्छा होगा, और स्टॉक भी करेक्ट हुआ है। तो कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ आपको थोड़ी बहुत खरीदारी के मौके भी बनते हुए दिखाई दे सकते हैं। आज भी स्टॉक लगभग सैंटो इस डेटा के आने के बाद 1.5-2% चढ़ा था। तो होपफुली ये जो अदानी का स्टॉर्म है वो सेटल हो जाए तो शायद कॉनकॉर में फिर से आप एक स्टेबिलिटी का अपटिक देख सकते हैं।
Well, the concern for Concor mainly is on the EXIM part of the business. That is where the concern is. As far as the domestic volumes are concerned, there the numbers have been pretty decent for the quarter ended December, and the revenue mix, which is like largely at 60-40 at this point in time. They're trying to get a mix of about 70-30. Sorry, the other way around. It is 70-30 mix. They're trying to get it down to 60-40. So some positives there clearly, but at this point in time, it will be largely sentiment that is in play at the counters.
Absolutely.
Well, and with that, it's a wrap on this episode of Closing Bell. Thank you for watching.
जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। कल फिर से आप लोगों से मुलाकात होगी।
We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. In the meantime, for all news, views and analysis, stay logged on to moneycontrol.com.